What's up guys, welcome back to Driver's Paddock, where we do track reviews, showcase cool car builds, and tell car stories. Today we're fulfilling a dream of mine. In part one of this video, we completely transformed the interior of my E92 M3. And in this video, we're gonna be transforming the exterior. We're gonna do a stud kit, the BBS RIA in a very aggressive spec, Eventuri Plenium, Akrapovic Exhaust, and more. There are a lot of parts here and a lot of people helping me. Let's get right into it. So everybody, next thing up, let's get to these. And this of course is the Motorsport hardware stud kit. And it's a small mod, but I think it makes a big difference when taking wheels off. And of course, we're gonna be tracking this car. And also allows me to put on these. And these are the Project Kicks R40 lug nuts. And these are the ones in black. And I think it's gonna look really, really good with the silver BBS RIA on a black car. So let's get to work. So when it comes to installing a stud kit, especially for a car that's going to be tracked, you got to make sure that the threads are super clean, free of any debris. And we use the blue 246 Loctite. That's the high temp version. Even on our endurance race car Audi TT or on all of our track cars, we use this. Because we use red Loctite, we've been in a pinch many times where we need to replace a stud at the track. It's better to use the blue high temp. It'll work really well for application. So everyone, my favorite part of any car is always the BBC. Wait. So everyone, my favorite part of any car is always the BBK. And honestly, this is one of the reasons why I went with the BBS RA, just to be able to show off these anodized Brembo Pistas front and rear. And I think it's going to look absolutely spectacular behind the BBS RIA. So let's get these on as soon as possible. We're going with the Endless RBF 650 fluid, as well as the Endless brake pads, stainless steel brake lines, of course, and the J-hook rotors. So I can't wait to see what this looks like. Let's get these on. Yo, what type of camera work are you doing?
Keep coming, Jay, keep coming.
Oh! So everybody, we have the brakes on the car now, the front and rear, and we have the tires mounted up on the BBS RIA. I can't wait to put it all together. Let's keep going. So everybody, with BMWs, you can never have too much carbon fiber. And this is the OEM M Performance carbon rear spoiler. And to match it, I have a GTS style carbon front lip. And this is sort of a temporary solution for me until I can hunt down an OEM GTS front lip. And also I'm looking for the carbon side mirrors if anybody has an OEM piece. Those are discontinued and really hard to find. But let me know if you have those. But again, you can never have too much carbon fiber. Let's get this on the car. So everyone, I just finished mocking up the lip to the bumper, and I'm really happy. The fitment is actually really good. At this point, it's just double-sided taped on, but I think I'm going to rivet it to the bumper itself, especially if we're going to be taking this car on track. So everyone, we are just buttoning up the front carbon fiber lip. And one of the reasons why I wanted carbon fiber specifically is because I think the carbon actually complements the Dress black really well. Without the lip, I think Dress looks just like black. But with the carbon here, it actually makes the Dress look a little bit more blue. And I think that looks absolutely amazing. Also, one of the reasons why I didn't go with the GT4 lip is if you look at the front overhang of this lip, it's not very much. So for a street car, sometimes track car, this is going to be absolutely perfect. So everyone, I could not be more excited in terms of how this build is coming together. We have the OEM M Performance spoiler. We have the front replica GTS style carbon lip on. I think it looks absolutely fantastic. And of course, we have the Akrapovic exhaust here. I know not a lot of people love the exhaust because I think it's a little bit too quiet and that you really want that V8 grunt, right? But I think the S65 is one of the motors that makes an amazing exhaust note, but also has really, really good induction noise. And speaking of carbon fiber, of course, we have the carbon fiber exhaust tips, but we are also going to be installing, yes, the Eventuri carbon plenum, Eventuri intake, and the Eventuri carbon airbox cover. So I didn't want to go with a super crazy loud exhaust because it's going to really drown out that wonderful induction noise. And again, this is a mostly street car, sometimes track car. So I really want it to be not too loud, but also again to be able to experience that induction noise that isn't really there in new cars, but also have a really nice exhaust note that again isn't too loud. So let's get to work on that. So everyone, I'm gonna get to work on the Eventuri Plenum intake and airbox cover install. I've done a couple of these. It's really, really simple. All you really need is a T20, a 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 millimeter sockets, I believe, and some hand tools. There's 3 things that you need to take off, 1, 2, and then the one at the back of the plenum. Just make sure it seats properly and not to over tighten everything. So here we go. Let's get to work. This whole thing should just come off. There we go. Okay, so the reason why the bottom of the airbox needs to come out is because we need access to the clamps on the bottom of the plenum to the individual throttle bodies. Next thing we need to undo this air intake temperature sensor. It's just a clip, push in, and it should come right out. There we go. I actually bought a new one of these because sometimes these do break coming out. It's just figure save myself the risk and the hassle, but if you're careful with this, of course this can install onto the Eventuri Plenum no problem. As well as these badges, I'm going to be pulling the badges off of the stock one to put on the Eventuri one. But all right, let's get this plenum off. And between the wheel rail and the plenum, you'll see some hose clamps. You just need to, don't undo them all the way, just loosen them enough to be able to pull the plenum off gently. And of course we have one more thing to undo at the back of the plenum. All right, we're almost time to put in the Eventuri parts. I'm super excited. Let's go. All right, and then the plenum just comes right off. So out with the old and in with the new. So everybody, with the Eventuri Plenum firmly on the throttle bodies, we have the Eventuri intake that's going to go on as well, and the carbon Eventuri airbox cover. So let's button this all up and let's get the V8 and the M3 badge on the plenum as well. Let's keep going. Okay, everybody, at this point, we're ready to put in the Eventuri intake. So make sure you just loosen up these hose clamps. This just slots right in. Make sure you got a good seal. One last goodbye to this until next time, until we have to clean it. But let's get that cover on and button this all up. But next up for this car, and again, shout out to Ryan from IND for always hooking it up. And I think these small details from IND really make the car what it is. And so we have the Jerez black painted side markers with the new M3 badges, the matte black painted trunk badge, and the red BBS center caps to match the red Brembo writing on the anodized calipers. And of course, we have the red start-stop button, we have the red M button, and the red steering wheel stripe. I think red is going to be a really nice accent color to the Jerez black.
Now I'm gonna show you how M-Tech boys do the job. We don't need tools. All we need is hand.
What the heck? Dude, do you know how many things I watched online? You like use tape, you gotta use a pry tool. Wait, how'd you do that? You just squeeze the clips in?
You have to squeeze it
Okay,
really hard.
okay. And just give it a wait, show that technique. Like, you're like a chiropractor, man. Do it again.
You have to squeeze it.
Yeah.
Just give a little bit jiggy.
Jiggy.
Came out.
Jiggy. Yo, this guy's a chiropractor, man. This guy chiropractor. You know how many videos I watched on how to get that thing out? This guy gets it out in 5 seconds. Wait, all the clips are good, right?
All good.
Oh my God, this is the chiropractor. So everybody, it's the moment of truth and I'm super excited. The stud kit is on and the wheels are mounted and balanced. So let's get a first look at the BBS on this E92. Here we go. Oh my goodness. I think the black, Dress black with the silver just looks absolutely fantastic. And along with these black project kick lug nuts, it's gonna look spectacular. I can't wait to get this on the ground. All right, everyone, it's the moment of truth. Let's get the car onto the ground, and I can't wait to see what this looks like. So everyone, looking at this car, I could not be more happy with how everything turned out. And there's still a bunch of things that we need to do, like suspension arms, some bushings. We're probably gonna swap out the rear differential for something else, but those are for later episodes. But right now, I'm super stoked in terms of how this car looks. And I can't wait to get this car out on the track to see what improvements I want to make after we do some baseline testing. But right now, wow, I love how it looks. The car is super dirty right now. So without further ado, let's take this car over to OCD Detail. If you're in the GTA area, OCD Detail is absolutely amazing. Check him out on Instagram, OCD Detail 6. He looks after all the race cars here and all of my personal cars. So without further ado, cue cinematic. So everybody, that just about wraps up this video, and shout out to M-Tech Auto. If you have a BMW, Audi, Porsche, or any car for that matter, they do race consultation, modifications, maintenance, and more. They are absolutely amazing. If you want to come check us out or just hang out, stop by. And so, of course, this is Driver's Paddock. Tune back for the next part of this series where we take this car to the track. Catch you on the next one.